Hey folks, Elaine Marolakos Edelson here with AstrologyMojo. I want to help you get your mojo back. Remember, it's all about vibration, and the planets aren't doing anything to you. We live in a cooperation with the cosmos. When the planets make a move and create aspects and angles, it's only symbolic of our choices, what we're feeling, what we're doing with our time, our energy, our thoughts. How you feeling right now? What are you thinking right now? We're talking about Mercury going into retrograde on August 5th and in the sign of Virgo. And it's going to start, well, I have to work it. Let's work it backwards. The time frame that August goes retrograde is between August 5th and the 26th. There is a pre-shadow phase, which we're in right now, and then there's a post-shadow phase. And so when it stations retrograde on August 5th, depending on where you are in the world at a different time, through the 26th, through the 14th, it will be from 11 degrees to 29 degrees Leo. So I want you to look in your charts if you know what your chart looks like and how, whoopsie, my microphone's falling, how you might be affected. Here, let me just show you what this looks like. Nope, wrong one. Okay, let's do that. So here, we're just keeping Jupiter up. I got rid of the other things just to not confuse matters. So not correct me if I'm wrong. That must be a Virgo. Someone channeling through me. Correct me if I'm wrong. Sun is in Virgo right now, 3 degrees. Mercury, by August 26th, is in the sign of Leo at 21 degrees. And this is the last day it will be retrograde. It will continue to stay in Leo until it moves into the next sign. So back into Virgo. So what we're looking at here is by the time we get to Phoenix, she'll be rising. No, by the time we get to August 26th, there is a period of time, especially between the 26 degrees Leo to 11 degrees Virgo. In there, look in your charts and see where that is. So if this were your chart and you were a Libra rising, it would be between 26 degrees here and here. So that would be the 10th house and the 11th house. So you want to see which two houses this is going to show up in, because we'll take it one at a time. First of all, a Mercury in retrograde, people say, oh, the planet's moving backwards. Never. No, not in this world. Not in this reality. From the perspective of Earth, it looks like the planet is going backwards because the Earth is moving at a different speed around the elliptic, around the sun, the ecliptic, and then Virgo constellation in a certain particular point. That's where Mercury is. And then it looks like it slows down and goes backwards, but it doesn't. It's a perspective thing. Mercury represents beliefs and perceptions. That's it. Communication comes from that. A lot of people will say, oh, Mercury is all about communication, but that starts in here. So what are you thinking? What do you believe? Because the belief system that you have carries a vibration and a frequency, and that frequency is going to create matter and bring things to you or keep things away based on what you believe. It's all about. So when Mercury goes into, let me move this back a little bit. What do we have this on? 44 minutes. So let's go back in time. Let's take a stroll through memory lane. And you want to look at what Virgo represents at this period in time. And this period in time represents being fastidious, but then letting go of judgments that might have held you back for so long. Look, we're moving back in time. It's now the 18th. And I'm going to stop it when we get to right around the 14th, when Mercury is in Virgo. Okay. So between now through the 14th, you're going to be thinking about things that might relate to, because of the aspect to Chiron, you might be thinking about things that relate to sentimentality, or regarding your father, perhaps regarding your past decisions that have brought you to this place, regarding how you are evaluating what to keep. If you have a sudden realization that, oh my gosh, I sound like my father right now, and his one wound was this, and I think I'm mirroring that image. I want to work that out. I have to rethink that. I have to reevaluate that. All the re's come into place. Reassess, reevaluate, renegotiate, release, reignite. And so between now and August 14th, I want you to pay attention to where Mercury is in your chart and the topics that it might hold. Let's say you're a Cancer rising. Mercury in retrograde in Virgo is going to deal with your self-worth, your finances. If you were a Gemini rising, we just count counterclockwise. Counterclockwise. And it has to do with how you perceive, what you believe, how suddenly you're changing your mind. And when you change your mind, you change your belief system. And then from there, your vibration alters. And suddenly there's people in your life that aren't there anymore. When you change a vibe inside of you, what happens is you don't line up anymore with that person over there. And it doesn't mean they've done anything right or wrong or indifferent. It just means the vibration is not the same. And so you might actually feel people, whether you're a Gemini rising or not, you might actually feel people leaving your life, or that you're no longer electrically, emotionally charged by something. And you go, what's happening? I'm not interested. Whether it's people, places, things, but mostly ideas and perceptions that you have. And so when Mercury is in the sign of Virgo, which is one of its natural placements, Mercury is the planet that guides Gemini and Virgo and lends itself to dissecting information to the nth degree. What if I did that? What if I added 6 colors to that palette, but then added some gouache, added a little white, and then scraped it on one side, made a rainbow. And so it's like you're thinking of how to divine something through devising something. I want to make it perfect. I want to make it the best. I'm tired. I don't want to make it this way anymore. I have to reconsider this. So you might be let's bring it down to earth. While Mercury is in Virgo, let's go from 30 degrees, 0 degrees. 0 to 11 degrees, 0 to 11 degrees. That's going to be like the sweet spot. So wherever Mercury is in your chart, and everyone has Mercury because everyone has Gemini. Everyone has, where are you? Where is Virgo? So, and everyone has Mercury. You may have Mercury in Cancer or Mercury in Aquarius. It doesn't matter. But where Virgo is in your chart on the wheel, that's where you want to look at, 0 to 11 degrees. And you might say, I have to revisit something right now. So where's my paperwork? I know I paid that insurance bill and they're telling me I owe money. Before I get all judgy and negative and, mumbling under my breath about the system and blah, blah, and the people and take a nice deep breath and you relax and you say, I'm going to put on some music. I'm going to do something that nurtures me. I'm going to do something that feels like I'm just going to clean the kitchen, Virgo. I'm just going to sweep, I'm just going to organize those things and put them in the donation bin. I'm going to recycle. So we're letting go of something. Then once we let go of a little something that's neutral, like, oh, I feel good now. I Marie Kondoed my drawers and now my t-shirts are all in order, color coordinated. And then you say, okay, now I know that paperwork is somewhere. So you want to set yourself up for success when we're looking at doing anything that deals with cleaning out the old and I don't want to use the word defend, but I just used it. So what's the perception of when you know that what you have done is true for you, but someone else is telling you, no, that's not what you said. And you're thinking, I have an email. I'm going to go find it. That's proof. So we don't want to be looking at defending ourselves. We want to be looking at clearing out inconsistencies. Do you understand the distinction? Because defense, and any sign can get defensive because that's people. Defense puts you in an energy and a vibration of having to prove something to someone else who doesn't care anymore. It's not ever about them. So they might say, oh no, you said purple. I know you said purple. I heard purple. And you're thinking, no, I would never say purple, especially on Thursday. Well, what are they? Wait, I have an email. I have in my files. Hey, honey, do you remember when we had that conversation and you were right there? And so you don't want to be looking for evidence because you're not guilty of anything. That's the Virgo downside vibe. That's what it represents. So you want to come up out of the basement or the dungeon, wherever you keep that feeling, and say, I'm okay. I mean, if it's a gossipy thing and it's not about people wanting to know, tax information, or I'm sorry, you said you submitted that form, but we don't see it. Now, I'm not saying you didn't send it. If I worked in insurance or in the medical world, and I'm talking on the phone, and a patient calls and says, I sent that form in yesterday, and I were someone who were more less conscious, and I would go, well, we didn't get it. You need to send it again. If I were more conscious, I would say, I'm sure you sent it. Who knows with, technology and sunbursts and sun flares and, stuff happens. Maybe it got lost. Would you mind sending it again, please? I'm not accusing you of doing anything wrong, but I am asking you for information that you've already completed. So we're going to revisit things like that. So please don't get thrown off your rocker and start spewing. I went to vote the other day, and these people are doing their best. They're giving their time. And they said, would you like to do it paper? Do you want the ballot that you can write in, or do you want the digital? And I thought, oh, digital, that's fun. Okay, let's do that. So she sat me down, and I'm going through my choices, and then it gets to something else. And I said, I'm sorry, it's asking me to write in my candidate. I don't have a booklet. And she's like, I know. I said, well, I didn't get one in the mail. And she said, yeah, a lot of people didn't. She said, you could go to your car. You could put this on hold. You can go to your car and get your phone. And I said, but that would take me an hour to look up these candidates and decide if that's the way I want to go. and I said, look, I'm not frustrated with you, but this system wasn't set up for easy use. And she said, okay, but the next time it will be. And we've had 10 people before you with the same issue. And I said, you're working so hard. Thank you so much for volunteering. I appreciate you. And so I had to make a choice of, I don't know the people to write in. I have to research them if I'm going to do a proper vote, right? That's how I think. And so when we got out, my husband had already finished because he took the paper route, and it gives you the people so you could see, but not on the digital. So he said, were you upset with those people? And I said, no, I was upset because the system wasn't working properly. And he said, oh, okay. I said, they're working really hard. And I thanked them, and I got a sticker, and I said, I'll be back. So when things happen and it's not a smooth road for you, look at it as an opportunity to be as grounded as possible, Earth sign Virgo, but to be as articulate as possible with offering community their due. and saying, look, I know you probably get a lot of these phone calls. We ordered something and we didn't get it. And so my husband knows to do this. He gets upset ahead of time, maybe, or maybe not. But when we realized, oh my gosh, we didn't get this thing. And it was a part that we needed for the plumber. And he called and he said, I'm not getting through. And he couldn't get through. And then he started to build up this energy of, I can't get through. I can't get through. And I was like, okay, would you like some lunch? Let's talk about it. The world is not on fire. It's okay. Oh, he calmed down. He had something to eat. And it's like, so take care of your basic needs. And then when, of course, Dean approached the thing and he's like, he finally got through on the first try because he was calm. He was excited. He's like, yeah, we're going to get this thing. I'm so grateful. This is the road. So let's switch the thinking from this is not happening to I'm so grateful I have a telephone that I can call or that electricity is working. Look at the thing that can make your life easier and stop bitching about the stuff that isn't happening the way you want it to in the moment you want it. That's what this retrograde in Virgo is about. And it doesn't mean they did something wrong. We're not looking to blame. Blame is crippling this world. So what we want to do is say, okay, I don't vibe with that. If that's a person you're talking to, or I once met a guy and we were chatting a while and he wanted to go out with me. And I got this vibe, ladies, what I'm talking about. And I was like, yeah. And he said, oh, let's go hiking. Do you like to go hiking? I said, I do. He's like, all right, I'm just going to run to the car. I've got my hiking shoes. And I was like, whoa, I like to go hiking, but I'm working today. He goes, all right, then I'll come back tomorrow. And it's like, whoa, you are forcing this issue. And I'm not comfortable with that. And if that's how you're going to start to get to know me, I'm going to end it right here. Thank you so much. So, and it takes a lot of gumption. Sometimes it took me 29 years before I could ever say no to anyone. 29 years. That's how old I was. I hid under the covers thinking I just cracked the world in half. It was my world. And I thought, oh, how freeing. Now I have no problem. No. So with this Mercury in Virgo, what we're looking at, let me move this over here. Hi, Scarlett, Christy, Kate. I think they designed it that way on purpose. I don't know to what you are referring, but okay. I try typing, it kicks me out. Oh, I don't know why. Well, we're just going to play nice with technology. And we're not going to go to the typical, oh, Mercury's retrograde. That's why it's not working. How about Mercury's retrograde? Because that's the natural process of the universe. And I am going to reassess by reattuning. Is that a word? I'm going to turn inward, look in the mirror and say, what do I need right now? What would I like to have right now? Do I need to eat something? Do I need some electrolytes? Do I need to work out? Do I need to make that phone call? What would I like right now? What's making me happy and overjoyed to organize something? Even if it's one corner of my desk or half of that kitchen drawer that everybody has. And I said to my husband, when you get back from your trip, how about we just clean up a little bit? Every couple of months, I go through a purge phase and we put stuff in boxes and we donate. And we don't have a lot of stuff. It's mostly out. It's pictures, it's crystals, it's plants, it's books. But Dean said, well, let's get into the shed. And I'm thinking, okay, we have Christmas things, we have gardening things, and I think there's one jar of nails and some bubble wrap. So I don't know, maybe the nails can go because we're not going to be building the ark for the flood anytime soon. So reassess without too much negative judgment. Now, to understand the distinction between judgment and evaluation. Do we hear it? Do we know it? Judgment is, I'm right, they're wrong. That's a judgment. Judgment is, I got blamed for something, and either you did it or you didn't, but you feel defensive about it. Evaluation is, oh, these shoes don't fit me anymore. Not, I paid freaking good money for these shoes. That's a judgment. Evaluation is, these shoes don't fit me anymore. You know what? There's a goodwill. They take shoes. I'm just going to clean them up. and I'm going to donate. And I feel good about that. So we want to move out of judgment and move into evaluation. Because when we do that, we alter the vibration, then suddenly our beliefs change. Like, I didn't need to jump on that cashier. I didn't need to, I didn't need to be an armchair warrior during a political heated season. Please. People are going to go left, right, whatever they're going to do. You need to come from your heart. You need to come from in here. And when you come from the inside of you and you understand that you are a sentient, eternal, celestial being, I want to take the mic and throw it. What else is there? It's the moment you're in, reacting or responding, judging or evaluating. Mercury in retrograde is a natural process. Just like you clean out your closets, you have to close your eyes, do a meditation. I recommend Joe Dispenza highly. Alter your DNA and your gene expression and stop blaming the world for what's not happening in your life. You have already been programmed. We all have. By the time we're 5, the neurotransmitters get locked into place. Oh, this happens, then that happens. Oh, then that happens. And then you repeat the program as you grow. I wanted to be an artist when I was younger. And then I became one, but all I ever heard from my family, and no fault of theirs. My dad went to art school. He was an actor. He tried and it didn't work. It was hard for him because he had the programming. And it's like, you need insurance. You need a good job. You need to, and then do that thing on the side because there's no money in it. Become a teacher, like your uncle, your other uncle, your cousins. At least there's stability. And so right there's a ceiling on my expression. And I am not the typical, although I carried the typical with me, even when I went freelance as an artist, even when I had 3 jobs as an artist and just making it meet. I was like, I'm doing what I want. And I will not ask anyone for money. And I didn't. But I still carried the poverty with me. So how do we change that? Well, what I want it's so simple. I'd like you to go to YouTube and pick a musical artist that you love, and it can be a song from when you were in 6th grade. I don't care. Something that you love. And something, because when Mercury goes retrograde, it represents the part of us that needs such a big break before we break something. We just need to step back away, put down the judgment and back away from the fury. Take a nice deep breath and say, oh gosh, I need something. Spirit, show me what I need right now. And then you're in the car or you're at home or you turn on, you've got YouTube or Instagram. This is universal now. We know what that means, right? We didn't when I was a kid. We did with this. Now it's this. And too much of this can make you this. You get it? So, but go in a state of show me, because your vibration is going to help you recalibrate a direction so that you can take in a moment of absolute, that was fun. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. Yesterday, and because we're in the shadow phase, just as Mercury is about to what looks like slowing down and we spin past it on the racetrack around the sun, a song popped into my head. Dionne Warwick, Do You Know the Way to San Jose? Now, when I was a kid, I lived a town away from Dionne Warwick, and I used to love her music. And I remember sitting in the back seat. My dad was driving. We were at a red light. And on the radio was Dionne Warwick. And I was in the back seat and I was singing. And then just before the light changed, a woman across from us made a turn. And I looked and my father looked. And I thought, Dad? And my dad said, that was Dionne Warwick. And I was like, and we're listening to her. And she's driving, and I've seen her. I felt like I was 10. Okay. I felt like that was it. I just won the gold Olympics in every category. It was so amazing to me. That's the feeling I want you to go for. That's the feeling. I had a client recently who, when we started working together in a private program, wanted to open up more. And this person said to me, yeah, I don't dream. And I was like, okay, just wait. Okay, here we go. You ready? Okay. So there was exercises and homework and a curriculum and some videos. And then I got an email. Oh my, blippity, blippity, blah. I was flying in my job. I was dreaming and flying and I want more. Give me more. And I was like, you just opened the door. So during a Mercury in retrograde, anytime, but especially in Virgo, you can bypass your thoughts and go to this heart-centered place that excites you beyond belief. And if cleaning out the garage excites you, go do it. If fixing that broken thing on your kitchen counter that's been sitting there for 6 months, and you're like, I just need to get a battery. I just need to get that other wire. I just need, clippers, whatever. And then you do it, and there's a sense of satisfaction. What you have just done is emanated. Just imagine this wheel in astrology flips over horizontally and you're at the center. So what you emanate now, frequency-wise, 50 feet, it has been proven. 50 feet, 10 feet from the brain, EMFs into the heart, 50 feet, you are the center of your own universe. And you've got this spiral going on. And you're just singing away. You're cleaning up, you're working, you're making money, you're having that heart to heart. You're doing whatever you need to do. You're lying down in the middle of the day on a Saturday because you want to. Isn't that a joy? You can do it without the judgment. We're going to evaluate. And it doesn't have to be the qualification. I worked really hard this week. They put me in overtime that I had to deal with some really pills of a people. So I'm going to lie down right now. Nobody's going to bother me. And I'm going to watch a movie at 3:00 in the afternoon. That you don't have to go to indignation to give yourself joy. You don't, really. So let me just check in with people. Arika, is it Arika? I hope so. Arisa, lovely to meet you, Scarlett. I'm a newbie, entered your accelerator program. Oh, you did? Welcome. Thank you. Is this the right group? Well, this is one of my groups. But stick around, Scarlett. We will get in touch with you as we are having some technical difficulties. We had a team meeting this morning and things got rerouted. Facebook rerouted some of my people. And they're like, where's the group? I don't know. So I'm glad that you're here. Like Erica. Okay. Hi, like Erica. We like Erica. Okay, so this is what we're looking at right now. So tell me if you know your sign or your rising sign, who you project to the world. Just let me know. Just put it in the chat right here. So when Mercury is retrograde, and remember, Mercury represents your beliefs and your perceptions. And it also represents the part of us that is formulating thought based on emotional experience. So an example that I use for a lot of my clients is just imagine you're in a small supermarket and you have your little cart and you're going up and down the aisles and there's somebody at the front of the market, maybe by the cashier, and they're looking at you, some big guy, and he's looking at you. And you ignore it and you go about your business and you're shopping. You come around the bend, you go up the next aisle. And as you're turning the next aisle, you see this guy is still staring at you. And now you start to think, oh, do I know him? And you turn and you look and you go, no, I don't think so. And then you continue shopping, come up the next aisle and he's still staring at you. And now you're thinking, oh my gosh, this guy's a creep. This is scary. I'm just going to ignore him. And you continue to walk down the aisle and you put more stuff in your cart and then you turn and now you're indignant and you're thinking, is this Is this like the store police? And he thinks I'm stealing? Who the heck is this guy? And you march right up with your cart. You march right up and you see that the man is blind. And he's waiting for someone to help him out. You just went on a roller coaster of thoughts and feelings that had nothing to do with the truth. Nothing. You see what I'm talking about? Does it? Yeah. But your first impulse was, oh, he's not looking at me. Done. You could have wrapped it up in 20 seconds. But instead, what you perceived and what you felt, because a thought always accompanies a feeling. And that feeling can create a thought. So they work together, and your brain doesn't know the difference. This is neuroscience, folks. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real or imagined. It knows that you are focused on something. And when you are focused on something, the energy grows. So if you want to be indignant about what you didn't get for Christmas from your sister-in-law 6 years ago, or how you never got a thank you card from someone, okay, feel the feelings. I'm not saying don't feel your feelings. I'm saying take a nice deep breath and focus on something else that is neutral to positive, that gives you joy. Does this make sense? Okay, we have Christy says, oh, Scarlett, you don't know yet. Okay, we'll help you figure that out. Pisces. Oh, wait, you're a Pisces with a, I don't get it. Pisces. Oh, Pisces sun. You put emojis in, you threw me. Pisces sun, Sagittarius rising, and a Sag moon. Cool. Who else? What do we have? I know Kate's a Virgo. Anyway, so then after Mercury retrogrades, doesn't really move backwards, but it's going to, by degree, as the Earth moves this way, from the perspective of the Earth, it looks like the planet is going backwards. Here's a great way to look at retrogrades. There are two planes in the sky. They are both traveling at 700 miles an hour, but one of them is much closer to the Earth. The other one is way up in the clouds, 40,000 feet. The one that is closer to us is going to look like it's moving faster. The one that is further away is going to look like it's moving slower. So we've got this disparity. So we see that, we perceive that as it going backwards. I hope that helps. So when we finally get to Leo, let's move this up a little bit. And by the 15th, Mercury has then entered the constellation of Leo until it gets to 26 degrees. And we won't go too far in the weeds with numbers because that can be confusing. But then the focus on the inside might feel like, oh, I just worked out stuff. I just cleaned out my closet. I just let go of some old perceptions. I just stopped judging. And I started evaluating. I just realized that I want to help someone in the community. I want to do something a little bit more, I don't know what. I'm going to see what's available. And this passion ignites. Now, these are the positive versions of things. So when the passion ignites, and we've got Mercury, which represents perception and beliefs, that's all, communication, siblings, enters the constellation of Leo, it represents us because the planets aren't doing anything to us. It represents us feeling passionate about something, feeling creative about something. You know, now that I cleaned out the thing in the kitchen, I am going to paint the wall, just one wall, and I want to paint it orange. I knew somebody who painted their wall this color, this chartreuse green, just because they felt like it. She was a Leo. Is a Leo. She's like, I just feel like it. I was like, you got to do it. So doing something that helps you ignite your passion is really going to speak to you, especially since we still have Mercury in, now by the 15th, it's Leo through the 26th, and then it moves out of retrograde into the shadow phase and then onward. But it is trining 120 degrees, positive angle to Chiron and Aries. What does that mean? Chiron represents, people will say, oh, the wounded warrior, the wounded, the wounded. And from my experience with working with clients, that Chiron represents the wound, the mistake you think you made, you think you are, conscious or unconscious, that you share with your father figure. Now, it can be a grandparent. It could be you never knew your father because he abandoned the family, but that's the wound, abandonment, you see? So you want to examine, and because of the trine, you see the triangles represent a positive aspect, 120 degrees. So during that time, especially when you clean out your inner judgmental closets and you start evaluating instead, and you've cleaned out something in the house and you feel, I just donated a whole lot of stuff. I feel I donated my time, my energy. I researched something for the community. I, took up a donation for whatever. That's the Virgo vibe, wanting to really help the community. Now, you may be a health practitioner, or I know a lot of Virgo Leo combos, and they are acupuncturist. One is a biomedical energetic something or other, and they use biometrics to help people heal. Another one is a fitness trainer. Another one is a writer, and they write about health. So isn't that interesting? So during this time frame between the 14th, 15th of August through the 26th, well, let's just say the rest of the month, when Mercury is in Leo, there's this feeling of, I have more energy now. I just discovered something, and I stopped eating and ingesting things that were creating inflammation in my body and with brain fog. And now I have more clarity. And now I have more energy because of that clarity. Or I just started taking a workout program, or I just used a rebounder, 5 minutes a day. That's all. It doesn't have to be extreme. We're not looking at extremes. So whatever it is that you're doing during that time, it mirrors the healing process that maybe your dad never got to do. Maybe you never got to tell him before he left and he never came back. Or I remember telling my dad 18 years ago, July 13th, that it's okay to go. It doesn't hurt to leave your body. And thank you for everything you've ever shown me. And I know you'll be with me. And he has been. So expressing yourself means no regrets. No regrets means no baggage. No baggage means get clean closets. Right? Yes. Hello. Does this make sense? Is this helping? So when Mercury is retrograde in Leo, and Leo is magnanimous, it's gregarious, it can be very shy in private, believe it or not, and it measures the world by, like the sun, because Leo is guided by the sun. It measures the world by how it is viewed. It measures itself by how it is seen. So that's like saying your Leo energy might only include people when you need help. It's like, oh, I'm going to call so-and-so. I haven't spoken to them in 6 months, but I know they'll have the answer. Hey, it's great to talk to you, blah, blah, blah. And then I remember saying to one, this is on the lower vibe energy. I remember just saying to one Leo a long time ago, you only ever call me when you want something. They're like, that's not true. I'm like, okay. Tell me how you are and let's talk, blah, blah, blah. And we talk and talk and talk. And then I hang up the phone and I do not pursue. And then I get a phone call 6 months later. And so but then the higher vibe is, what can we do? Let's go on an adventure. You want to go travel? Oh my gosh, you look beautiful. All right, let me put a little makeup on you. I had a Leo friend once who was like, you need a little eyeliner. And I was like, okay, don't poke me in the eye. I mean, like she was the Las Vegas queen, and she was like, come on, stop blinking. And so Leo can be generous and fun and exciting and the life of the party, and loves kids or loves education or loves teaching or loves to have groups of people around them, so that they can reignite their passion for humanity. So Leo energy can also be very shy. My husband and I, when we first got married, we rented a condo. It was a duplex, and next door lived 2 Leos. And she was the quiet, hiding behind the curtain Leo. He was the musician Leo. And it was amazing to me. The personalities were so different, but they so identified with the different aspects of Leo. So even if you don't have Leo in your chart, you have Leo in your chart, because let's just say this is your chart. Everyone has a sun, and the sun is guided by Leo, and Leo is somewhere on the cusp of some house in your chart. So if I go back here and I say, well, let's put in, there's Mars, and there's Venus, and here's Uranus, and here's Neptune, and here's Pluto, and how they make aspects and angles by degree. It's a matrix of energy that, once configured, equals your moment, your day. It's not doing it to you, however. It's an example of how you can express yourself. So let me just take these. Oh, no, not that one. I'm just going to take these out for a moment. Nope, not that one. This one, and that one. Okay, we want to keep it simple. Because Mercury is in Leo from the 14th, 15th, depending on where you are in the world, to the 27th, we'll say the rest of the month. It's trining positive angle to Chiron, which represents the wound that you share with your masculine parent. And you're going to work something out. You're going to feel, you might have a dream maybe your closest masculine parent was your grandfather, or your uncle who might have raised you if your dad wasn't around, or you might have a dream. You might just feel sentimental. You might, in cleaning out that closet, you might come across a gift that you were given once. A photograph falls out of a book and you go, oh my gosh, that was my dad when he was, 18, and he played baseball and blah, blah, or whatever. And so the sentimentality comes up, and then that further lends itself to you healing something like, I'm proud of who I am now, because Leo wants to feel pride. Not in a boastful, arrogant way, although many people can be that without any Leo in their chart. But Leo wants to feel like they it's like, I make something and I go, here, I experiment it, and I cook keto all the time. And wherever I go, if it's a doctor's office or I go to Osteo Strong, it's to rebuild my bones. We have the technology, we can rebuild her. And so I went from osteoporosis to osteopenia. I'm so happy in 2 years. Anyway, so I always try new things. Desserts, and they're wheat-free, and they're sugar-free. And I go in and I go, all right, I don't know what to call them, because my husband and I name everything that I make. And I go, I don't know what to call these, but they're supposed to taste like ginger. I don't know, but they're kind of nice and chewy and fluffy, even though I wanted crunchy. You tell me what, and they're eating them. And they were like, oh my God, these are so good. And what I used to be, I have a Leo moon. So that's what I do now. It's like, if you like them, great. If not, tell me what you think might make it better, and I'm going to go rearrange the recipe. But what I used to do was I put all my focus and energy on making this thing for someone or someone's, and I would hand it to them, and I would wait. I would wait for that moment of validation, because I always felt like I needed validation to be me. And they would go, oh, thanks. And then I go back to their conversation. I go, did you like it? And they would go, yeah, it was really good. And I'm like, okay. Well, what did you think? Did you think, was it too sweet? Or, so it was like I kept fishing for information so that I could, and it was, I'd say 30 years ago, my husband at the time, my good friend, said to me, I don't understand why you keep asking and he's a Cancer. So it's like one word answers sometimes. And at the time, till he got to know me. And he said, is it that you have to be the center of attention? And I started crying. I was like, no. And I said, I think, you know what? I don't need to be the center of attention. I just want to know that what I did made you happy. And he said, oh, okay. Because this is what it sounds like to me. And I was like, oh, okay. So in having that trust in someone, because he was my best friend, having that trust in someone to go, okay, I was more mindful the next time I made something to say to myself, you know what? I like it. I like it. I hope they love it, but I like it. So I'm happy with it. So I don't need to keep fishing. So if you find yourself looking for validation, is the point of that story. If you find yourself looking for validation anytime this month, I want you to look in the mirror. I want you to give it to yourself and say, not only do I love you, but I love that I am love. I love that I am love, because that's what I am. Instead of looking at, oh, your nose is that, or what's that line on your chin? We don't want to put ourselves under so much scrutiny that we start hating parts of ourselves. Or if you already are there, you want to step back. This has also been scientifically proven. You stand back, if you can, 6 feet from a mirror, and you gaze at yourself. And you might, and it's a softer gaze, a softer focus, because you're 6 feet away from a mirror, and you might say, oh, wow, I love that color on me today. Or, that's not the right color. I think I'm feeling blue instead of gray or orange or whatever. And then, but you keep that color on and you take 3 steps forward. And then you're like, oh, wow, what's wrong with my hair? And then you go even closer until you're 3 inches away from the mirror, and the scrutiny and the judgment and the anger and I can't stand it. I've been dieting for a month, or I just used that hair color and now the grays are coming in again. So what happens is the further away you stand from the mirror, the softer the focus, the greater the love. Let's expand that. Let's start there. Even if the mirror is only this big and you stand back. When I wash dishes, our dining room is right at the kitchen. There's no separation, but against the wall is a wedding gift we were given. And it's this beautiful, like Art Deco mirror. It's only about this big. So when I'm washing dishes and I'm watching lately I'm revisiting West Wing. I love that show. Such good writing and acting. And so I'm washing dishes and I'm watching West Wing, and I look up and I see myself across the room, maybe 15 feet away, 20 feet. And I see my face in the mirror, and I just smiled and went, I love this show. I love my life. And it's these silly little things that are going to help get you through that moment with the boss, the sister, the cousin, the former lover, the taxes, oh, I gotta go deal with that on the internet. Oh my God, I don't know technology. So it's like whatever angst you're trying not to deal with, these things that I'm talking about are going to shore up your energy so that you have a greater appreciation for the fact that you have electricity. You have. So stop focusing on what you don't have. Focus on what you have. And when you do that during this retrograde, what you're going to find, and I'm going to pull a couple of cards, what you'll find is a greater appreciation for the moment that you are in a state of love, which equals divinity. That's the biggest vibe there is. That feeling when you, oh, I love that. Whatever it is. Oh my gosh, that man. I put it on Instagram. I was just kind of going through Instagram, and I saw this. Someone had posted an image of their cat in front of a big screen TV watching a male gymnast in red pants, and he's swinging around the thing, and the cat was trying to catch it. The cat was in front of the television trying to swat the image of the gymnast. That made me laugh so hard. I laughed so hard. My husband came in and goes, what are you laughing at? And by the way, my husband's a former stand-up comic. So if I'm laughing, he wants to know what's going on. And he came in and I go, get your glasses, sit down. You got 30 seconds. And he started watching it and he was like, what am I looking at? Oh my God. And he started laughing, and we were both laughing on the couch. And then in that moment, my husband turned to me and said, I love my life with you. It's the simplest, littlest things that you remind me of every day. And I said, me too. So let's hold hands and skip, everybody. Oh, wait. Michelle says, good afternoon. I hope you're well. Was just listening to your convo. My boiler went today. A friend sorted it. So grateful. Yes. Good. Great. I'm so grateful that I have a friend who can sort things. I'm so grateful that there are other boilers. We have to get a new hot water heater. So we bought one right away based on what one plumber said. And then we got an estimate from another plumber and said, oh yeah, you don't want that. You want this one. My husband and I, we were like, thank you so much. And he left and we just started laughing. You know, years ago, we would have been like, what the? They said one thing. Now what do we do? We didn't go there. We just started laughing. We're like, you know what? We'll figure it out. You know why? Because our hot water heater is working right now. Even though it's 15, 20 years old, it's working. So let's focus on what's working. And then you can literally pick up your Harry Potter wand. I'm going to move this image now. You can literally pick up your Harry Potter wand and you can say, I made some magic today. I made some magic today. So what kind of magic do you want to make in your world over the next couple of weeks while Mercury is in retrograde? And please don't buy into the old, oh, you can't do this because Mercury is retrograde. But you created Mercury in retrograde. You created your fear. You created your reality. So if you could create it, you can uncreate it. You just have to change your mind. You have to alter your energy. That takes a little bit of focus because where you put your focus, that's what grows. That's how you manifest. That's how you manifest consciously. So thank you for being here. Now, wait a minute. I forget what's on the agenda for Thursday, the 8th, but please come back. I didn't write it down. But you'll see it in Facebook. I'll make a post. And if you're on my email list, you'll get that email as well. And wait a minute. And Scarlett Scott, me or my team will be in touch. Please be patient with us, as my husband just went out of town on a business trip and a family trip. My father-in-law is almost 93. We thought one of us has to go see him. So, but we're going to, or my team will contact you, but you will figure it out. Thank you so much. And I thank you for your trust in me. Oh, and I said I'd pull a card. So wait, don't go. Okay. So I've got Denise Lynn, the Sacred Forest Oracle, and it's got green screen. I have green screen, but so these are green tree leaves. You can't see the green. That's why I don't wear green on screen, because I have a green screen and I can put up an image that makes me feel happy. All right, so we're going to do one card for Mercury in retrograde in Virgo, and then we'll do another card for Mercury in retrograde in Leo. Okay, in Virgo, please. I'm working with my team in spirit. Whoa, that's a lot of cards. Virgo, so particular. Okay. I'll cover them briefly because they all flew out at the same time. So we have focus. Now it's green because a wizard and he's all green, so it might look weird. But we have wizard, and that's focus. Focus on gratitude. What were we just saying? This is the Bluebell Fairy with an elk. And 6, community. Virgo is all about community, 6th house. And 5, 50, is transformation and having fun and playing. And then do all that for purification. A 3 is communication, perception, beliefs. So pure spirit, purification for Mercury retrograde in Virgo. I love that those came out. All right. Now for Leo, I'm going to use a different deck. For Leo, hang on. What shall I use? I have a lot of correct. Oh, yeah. We'll use Colette Baron-Reed. We've got Oracle of the 7 Energies. So this is for Leo. Mercury in retrograde in Leo, August 14-ish, depending on where you are in the world, through the 27th. We'll go through the rest of the month. Reignite those passions after you clean out those judgments. Okay. So you have to have a willing release when it's in Leo. You can't hang on to stuff, just like we purged in Virgo. Now it's your emotions that are going to purge. I know there's another one coming. Hang on. So everything we talked about, plus have that purge and release it without condemning it. It was like, okay, thank you for the lesson. Thank you for showing me who I am not. Thank you for showing me who I am. In Leo, Mercury in Leo, retrograde. Oh, I love this. Okay. Again, 2 cards. Oh, and now Leo rules the heart and the spine. Look at this. We have, okay, green screen. Anyway, it's a green card with, it's a green heart. And it's made up of flowers and greenery. Anyway, it's a heart. Let it go. Whatever it is, just let it go. Willing release. Let it go in Leo. And sacred reverence. More hearts. Look at that. I love that. More hearts. So open your heart in August. And again, we've got the, oh, I know what we're doing next week. What am I, silly? Yes, I am. We're doing the Lionsgate portal on the 8th. We're going to have, I'm going to do a little bit of chimes and the solfeggio frequencies, but I want you to come back because we're going to do a little clearing and we're going to talk about how to utilize the portal energy and what it means. You know, people will say, oh, it's a portal. It's sacred. It's the great central sun. Well, I'm going to give you a little history about our galaxy and what's at the center of it. And we're just a tiny little dot. We're a dot. And on that dot, we live. So there's so much bigness out there, and we've got it in our hearts. So be grateful. Be grateful that you're here, that you're creating something beautiful, and go pick your favorite color. I used to have a radio show a long time ago, and I remember interviewing so many people. John Asseroff and oh my God, Marcy Shimoff, and she wrote Happy for No Reason. Anyway, at the end of the interview, I said to her, if you could be a tree, what would you be? And she just stopped and started laughing. She goes, no one has ever asked me that before. And then she thought about it. And then she told me, she goes, I love that. And then I forget who else I asked, what's your favorite color right now? What's your favorite color? And if you could emanate that color the rest of the day, what would that color be? And I forget who it was. Anyway, and they said, so it's like, you want to do your business, be productive. Yeah. Take care of your body, mind, spirit, blah, blah. Do it all. Just be present when you're doing it. Just be present and go from neutral to positive in as many moments as possible. And you align your heart, your body, your mind, your spirit. And then it comes to you. Then you collapse time and space, and the thing you've been wanting or feeling, it comes to you so much more readily and easily. And then we get thrown, and then we start over. We just got to come back to center until it becomes a habit, a new pattern, and new neurons form, and we go, oh, my needs are met. Life is getting easier and easier. Christmas, this is my motto. Christmas always works out for me, and every day is Christmas. When I was a kid, I always wanted the Christmas lights on. My mother said, you can't have presents every day. And I was like, I don't want presents every day. I want the Christmas lights on, because when and we have them all over the house, inside the house. And when they go on at night, my heart opens. I knew as a kid that the colors of the rainbow are right here, reminding me that that's what I am. And that's what you are. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being, as always, I wish you peace. And I will see you next week. We're going to have some big time opening.